And we are live on another Tuesday night. Kurt Valenti, Jennifer Valenti.
Good evening.
All in on high school sports. Hello, everyone. How are you? How are you?
I'm well, and yourself?
I'm good. Good. You know, start of the World Series this year, game one. You know, no Yankees, no
Hopefully
Mets.
It doesn't impact our viewership.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't impact the viewership. You know, but we're gonna get to a lot of high school sports tonight. So, what we got on the agenda tonight?
Tonight we will be joined by Sandy Seegers, who is a long-time sports reporter for the Morris County area. I first met Sandy when I was a coach at Montville High School, and she covered my field hockey team on many occasions. She launched her own website dedicated to girls' high school sports in the Morris County area called SOAR New Jersey, so she's going to join us for some Morris County girls' sports updates. And we will also be joined by the Wayne Hills head football coach, Wayne Demikoff, to talk about his program and his 3-0 start to the season. And of course, our normal my fall forte field hockey, your fall forte football.
Absolutely. Our first comment in the game is from our guy, Johnny Beelan. And he always says it. Best duo in the game right now. Let's go.
It wouldn't be a start to the show if we didn't get our comment. Thank you, Mr. Beelan.
No. And you know what? What I'm looking for, listen, it's my favorite new thing weekly now. At 8:50, we preview week 4. We give our picks.
Yep.
Myself. Jenny
Me.
Hoops,
Yep.
Mr. Beelan, and Mr. Kirkpatrick.
Yep.
So we'll get to standings and all of that. But let's get going. I mean, by the way, first off, there's a Coach Breslin saying "Go Poe."
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So it's, again, Coach Breslin, one of the best in the biz.
Absolutely.
I want to give a shout.
Our audience knows a former coach at Ramapo.
Absolutely.
Right? So they know, yeah.
Oh, he's still at Ramapo.
Oh, still at Ramapo. My bad.
He's still at Ramapo. Coach Sinkyu from Clifton received the Coach of the Week by the New York Giants this week. So we had Coach Sinkyu and his coaching staff and players on Clifton.
Yep. Also off to a
ranked in the state.
Start.
Ranked in the state. So Mark Calderio saying hello. Hello, Mark.
Hello, Mark. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Let's get to some week 3 results.
Okay. So, well, just as a disclaimer, with the craziness of schedule changes and school unexpected shutdowns, and we did have a game last week that was unexpectedly switched, or so we had the Riverdale Pascack Valley, which did not happen. So it did change to Riverdale against Demarest, which we did not predict. So I just want to clarify that. So therefore, Ramapo also did not play Demarest due to some COVID-related issues. So just a little heads up about that. So we'll start with our first one, which was Cresskill at Beckton.
Yeah, Beckton, and again, hopefully we're going to get the Beckton coaching staff. They just reached out to me a little before the show. And so we're going to try to get them on. But they are a nice 3-0 start. Again, one of the better, smaller programs in the area.
They were victorious 30-0.
30-0 over again. The usual, a Cresskill program who's a good program also. So Beckton's rolling.
And Palisades Park, week 3 at Elmwood Park. Elmwood Park.
Coach Mulligan, man.
Had Coach Mulligan on last week. Now 2 wins in a row.
Absolutely. Yep. 2 in a row for Coach. Here's the thing. We're going to pick them for 3.
We'll find out later.
That's one of our
show.
games.
Yep.
That's one of our picks. But yeah, congratulations, Coach Mulligan and the EP program. Now 2 in a row.
Absolutely.
Looking for 3.
Lodi at Lyndhurst. Lodi victorious 27-0.
Yes, Lodi 27-0. Against again our guys, Coach Twero and staff. Little slow start for the Golden Bears.
As we discussed, target on their back. Everybody's hungry to get them.
Absolutely. But Lodi sets up a huge, big Harrison Ave brawl this week. So Lodi Garfield. We'll get into that. That's another one of our preview games this week.
And then our other pick last week was Nork Eastside at Milburn, with Nork Eastside victorious 55-7.
Yes, Milburn starting off 0-3 in football. Hopefully they can make a nice little turnaround. By the way, Mark's saying we have a big game this Saturday night, and Mawa, huge game for the 8th graders.
Oh,
so
nice.
Awesome. I believe the little Fairlawn guys are 3-0.
Awesome.
So
nice.
I believe they're 3-0.
Nice. His son will be in high school next year. That's crazy.
Yes.
We'll have to cover him.
Absolutely.
All right, so we left off with Paramus Catholic at Bergen Catholic, with Bergen Catholic shutting them out 37-0.
Yeah, Bergen's rolling again. One of the top teams in the state. Coach Campanelli has them rolling. PC again, 0-3, but with that tough schedule. Again, every week it's
exactly.
it's a big boy.
Yeah.
So but Bergen rolls 37-0.
Clifton, we gave a shout out to Coach Cinco earlier, and again, coming off a great season last year, off to a good start this year, victorious again at home over Patterson Eastside.
17-6. I actually picked. I know I predicted a bigger, like a higher scoring game, but Clifton very good defensively, and Eastside's Eastside's a better team this year. So again, a nice win for Clifton. Clifton again, I want to say they were 13 or 14 in the state ranked, and they go to 3-0.
We have Wayne Hills victorious over Old Tapan. I'm sure we'll talk to Coach Demikoff a little bit about that.
Yes,
when we have
again,
him on.
Wayne Hills, and when the first thing I'm going to say to him is, what a schedule they hit. Right out of the gate, state champs, and state sectional finalists. So every week for them it doesn't get easier. They got tougher games low, but hey, 3-0. Keep rolling, big rivalries, big wins, and it comes down to wins. And you know what? In 7-0, 62-0, it's a win.
Right.
So 3-0. So congrats right there on Wayne Hills.
Which brings us to our next game, which I'm gonna come out and say it. I was down on Del Martin.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I know it was 27-21. Del Martin beat Don Bosco. I think that they are they're proven to be a team to be reckoned with.
For the past 3 weeks,
I had kind of put them on that second tier with those
absolutely
teams.
For the past,
I was wrong.
We always said they're not with Bergen, not with Bosco, not with Joe's, and not in that category. But you know what? They're proven wrong.
Yeah.
Because they're knocking them off, and to beat Bosco is a big victory for them. Del Barton goes to 3-0.
And a defensive battle.
Yeah.
Hawthorne.
You know what? It's an old school. And I'm gonna say old school. I'm gonna go back to like the 90s and the early 2000s when like we were in school, they were rivals, and that little, I want to say they were the BPSL Carpenter back then, but always had battles, but a defensive battle. Hawthorne prevails, goes to 3-0 with a 7-6 victory over Pompton Lakes.
Then we have Garfield losing a close one in the closing seconds.
You know what? And I'm going to say this about play. I'm going to give this to Coach Santa Coach because he was here.
Mm-hmm. He was here right here
on this seat, and we said to him, you're down one in a big game. What are you doing? What did he say?
Go for two.
Going for two.
Yeah.
So 14, they were down 14-7, get it to 14-13. I want to say there was 7 minutes left. So, there was still time. But in a team, again, that gave them a problem. Again, Kenny and I went, and Waldwick up and down the field. I want to say it was like 41-0 or 41-7. So Garfield had, like I said, he had it circled. They were right there. Coach, they went for two, and they were like inches away from getting that the 2-point conversion. So a heartbreaking game. But again, you can't the thing with Garfield, we'll get into the picks. You can't keep your head down because you got Lodi coming right across the street to come get you. So that's going to be a big one this week.
Then we had St. Peter's Prep victorious over St. Joe's.
Absolutely. I believe the number one team in the state, St. Peter's, rolling, athletes all over the place. Again, St. Joe's 1-2. But I mean, how talented! They're a top 5 team in the state.
Such a misleading record.
Top 5 team in the state.
Crazy.
So again, right now Peters is the team 3-0, top of the state. So we'll make a pick on them this week.
And then our last one, we like to call them our boys, our fellas from Passaic Valley, 3-0 with another win.
I mean, do I even got to get on it? I'm not even gonna say the words right now. I'll wait till tonight.
Don't jinx them.
But 3-0, 3-0, and hey, a couple days till 4-0. So
we actually have our first guest is in the waiting room. Should we bring her in?
All right. By the way, we got a comment from Beelan. So hey, and he's saying can't go for 2 with no offense. We spoke about this. But Pete lived by what he said he would do. Can't be mad at that. Absolutely not.
Yep,
Let me ask something. You know what? Hold on. We have one more minute before we can bring her in. You asked me for a question tonight, and you know what? Beelan just got me going. By the way, Paul Passamano from Lynn is saying, Kurt, how you doing? Everything is good. Big basketball guy.
Oh,
Mr.
nice.
Passamano.
Nice.
Good coach. Here's my question. All right, we'll get into it. What would you have done in that situation?
Oh, I'm going to go with Beelan. See, this is where you and I are so different. You are so black and white. I would do this, I would do that. And like Beelan said, it depends on your team. I can't make a blanket statement about whether I would have gone for 2. It depends. Also, time and, what's going on in the game. Do I think I'm going to get the ball back? Can my defense put a stop? Can I get another possession? I mean, there's so many factors to consider.
No way.
I know you're so black and white. It's just like it's this or it's nothing,
You got all the momentum in the world. Okay.
I mean, how do you
No,
know?
you do, because it's 14-7. Now you get it to 14-13. Crowd's going crazy. Places going nuts. Your team's fired up. You know what? I'm going for 2. Because you know what? That shows the confidence in defense. It's all right. If we don't get it, hold them, get the ball back. But you get it, and you know what? Hey, not even 99% of the time, 100% of the time, I'm with Coach Santa Coach. I'm going for 2.
All right. Yep. You and I are different on that.
All right.
All right. Should I bring our guest in?
One more. My last thing about this, though, real quick before we get to her. Like, you're saying, you're different, but is it your team? Is it the situation? Like, what is it more? Like, is that and when do you predetermine that? Like, he had to say on this drive.
Of course. Well,
I'm
again,
going for 2.
But here's the thing. You asked me what I would have done, and I can't say because I don't know those things. So yes, in that time, even if there were 7 minutes left in the game, I might have made the same decision given what was going on in the course of the game and given my team makeup, right? But I don't know. So that decision, all those things, I can't give you that answer. It's going to have to be a decision in the moment.
Beelan saying if the team was scoring throughout the game, I'd go for the 2. It was a low scoring game, tie that up. Go for 2.
All right, should I bring our guest
Absolutely.
in now? All right, we're about to welcome Sandy Seegers. So let's get her into our meeting while she loads up here. Trying to see if she is indeed in.
I'm here.
Oh, hi Sandy, can you show your camera? I see that your camera is off. Then we'll be able to see you as well.
You want the camera on?
Yeah, is that, or do you want to stay with no camera on?
Oh no, I mean I'm not in the best spot for it. I didn't think it was a camera because I thought it was a podcast.
Oh no, it's up to you. Whichever you
No,
want
I
to
can
do.
change. I can do something here. Hold on, let me just turn myself because I'm in kind of a messy basement.
We're in our basement too. We call it our sports
Yeah, but yours
room.
looks nice.
That's
Like,
I guess
I
that's
have
relative.
stuff like that, but it's not hanging. I have newspaper articles all over the floor.
By the way, Jen did get a little Virginia corner, about 1/10 of the room, but she did get a corner.
So for those of you,
well that's nice. All right, let me see this thing. Oh boy, let me just
there we
position.
go. Oh, perfect. Awesome. How you doing?
You see that too? That's an old pinball machine
That's
behind
very
me.
cool. Very cool. Nice. Welcome. So good to see you.
But it's a mess.
Not at all. I would like to introduce our audience to Sandy Seegers. I met Sandy when I was coaching at Montville High School, and she was a reporter for the Daily Record. She has been writing about girls' high school sports, or high school sports in general, for over 40 years. She launched her own website devoted to girls' high school sports at New Jersey, soar-nj.com. So she's still writing about girls' sports currently, so be sure to go over there and check it on out. She's joining us tonight to highlight some Morris County girls athletics. So thank you for coming, Sandy.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's definitely nice to do this.
This is
Kind of miss it.
you
Usually
know
always writing.
It's funny just chatting with you the last couple of days. It's been nice. I out of coaching, and I was telling you it is nice to get back into it and stay kind of connected to it. So I do have to tell you, I spoke to Amy Ottavinia today, and I was telling her that you were going to be on the show, and we were both just saying how much you have done for girls sports. So I do want to make sure that I acknowledge that and thank you, as I wasn't a Morris County athlete, but I was a Morris County coach, and the coverage you gave our teams was phenomenal. So thank you for that.
Yes, you're welcome. I loved it. I still love it. That's why I continue on, even though I have a full-time job. But it's fun. Great stuff all the time in high school sports.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. So I don't know, would you want to start with, I know you and I spoke a little bit about some of the sports that we wanted to do. Would you like to start with maybe a little bit of the Morris County cross-country happenings?
Oh, yeah, I like the cross-country. It's interesting. Again, well, of course, now there's not going to be a Morris County championship this year, which is, but that's the same in every sport. So, just not like anything different. But it's just been interesting too. You go to these meets, and I mean, if anyone's ever been to one, they know there's just a big crush of people at the start, and there's a big crush. They turn around and they go to the finish line. Well, they haven't really had any spectators, which is very odd. But so, although they lack spectators, there is absolutely no lack of talent.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just did a story on a young runner from Whippany Park, and she seems like she's going to be something else, I think. Her name is, hold on a second, I do know it here. I just want to think no, her name is Jess Diamond, and she's a freshman, and she's turned in some nice times already. But the only sad thing is she's not going to get to run against the runners from the big schools because there's not going to be a county meet. So,
yeah.
But, Julia Trethaway, who graduated from West Morris, she was a big name last year. Sarah Hannafin, I know from Villa Walsh, has been out. She hasn't run yet. So it just seems like in that sport, it'll likely be Mendham that could be dominant with Madison Orleans and Megan Smith. And last year in the large schools meet, they took 5 of the top 8 spots.
Wow. Very impressive. And speaking of Mendham, you had said that there was an upset in girls tennis with Mendham, correct?
Mm-hmm. Well, upset, I don't know. I always call it an upset. But yeah, it was pretty much a shocker, I'm sure, because Chatham won 7 county titles in a row.
Wow.
And it was a regular season match, but 7-time champions, 7 in a row, not just overall. And it turned out that Chatham took the first 2 singles spots, and then Mendham won the 3rd singles and both of the doubles, including one in a tiebreaker, to end up taking the match. So it was pretty rough. I was just looking back over some of my notes because one of the girls said, Isabella Scala, she was saying that she was still so excited from the day before, but that she was also so tired and so achy. And they ended up losing their match.
Oh,
and
yeah.
She hadn't lost since I don't think she had lost all last year and then didn't lose this year yet, but she was okay with it because of the big win the other day.
You make an interesting point about the lack of county tournaments. And, ever since the realignment of the conferences, and we've talked about this, you play a lot of your county opponents in your conference play. So, those conference games kind of take on a little more meaning this year, I feel like, in the absence of that county tournament.
Yeah, definitely. It's sad really, but at least they're getting to play.
Yeah.
That's a major thing, right? It's very sad, but even with this, would it be nice to see if some of these teams, say, I don't know if we're moving on a little bit yet, and I'm not sending your podcast in another direction, but say with Randolph girls soccer, they won their 14th overall last year, but then they've lost so many starters. But, it's Randolph, so they always come up with something. It would be interesting to see if they could win, despite that, or maybe get to the semifinals despite losing 8 starters.
Another thing that teams are having to contest with is, if they do have these schedule interruptions, is they could go a week without playing, without seeing competition, which will be interesting to see how that affects games.
Oh, that's happened. There's always, every time I say, I think I told you the other day, I look at the schedules, I see the big red line and, postponed, and then really that, of course, means that someone in the school or on the team has probably come down with the virus.
Yeah.
And they can't play. So it does add another dimension to this, which makes it pretty strange. Because what team were we saying didn't play? Or did we say Morristown Beard, the runner-up in the field hockey?
Hadn't started yet, correct? Hadn't had a game yet.
Yeah, they played 1 game.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they're still waiting. That's it.
Yeah.
It's kind of unusual, that's for sure.
And then you have kind of the converse of that, where I think West Essex field hockey got in 2 games, and then they went into a 2-week shutdown. So, now there's teams who've played as many as 6 contests, and here they are waiting to play their 3rd, So I just, wonder how with the interruption and the time off and gelling as a team, I mean, I think West Essex will be fine, but,
I don't know. It's just odd. It depends who you lose too, I guess, and stuff, Say somebody has to go out for 2 weeks or longer, and it's really, I don't know. It's just so strange, the
Yeah.
whole thing. But like I said, they're playing,
At
which
least
is
they're
great.
playing. Yeah.
I was so emotional with the Little League game when I was driving around in the summer. I was like, kids are playing Little League? Oh my God. And I pulled over. I had to look, I had tears in my eyes that there were kids in uniform and they were, 10.
Yeah. Yeah. It was just nice to see, right? To get back to some
It
sense of
was.
sports
It's like,
normalcy.
yeah.
And,
I really did miss it. It felt
Sandy, I don't
like
interrupt you, but we got a comment from Coach Joe Breslin saying the other problem is you could potentially have limited amount of practice after the interruption and play.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
and again, it's from a coach who,
Right, yeah.
who's dealing with that. So,
Yeah, and in football, again, each sport is
Is
unique
yeah.
in how it's going to handle it. Like football, you really have to worry about not that you don't have to worry about injury in the other sports, but in football, and we're seeing it. And I feel like the pro and college level, the injuries may be due to a little less preparation time in the preseason. So you really worry about that's a very good point from Coach Breslin.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Sandy, you had
That
mentioned Randolph girls soccer as one of the top teams in Morris County. Any other Morris County girls soccer notes?
Right. Well, Randolph is 3-2 now, but
Okay.
they've had both losses were by 1 goal to pretty good programs. So in Morris, Knowles, and Roxbury. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't count them out, but I just feel sorry for any of the teams that you don't get a how to defend. And how West Morris field hockey is too.
Mm-hmm.
They might have the couple losses, but they don't get the chance. And they won their first title last year.
Right.
So to see how far you can go, it's not going to happen. But anyway, in soccer, I would say I think I like Chatham. They seem to be a pretty good team. They have 19 girls back and 14 are seniors.
Wow. See, now that's a team where you feel, not that you don't feel for every team, but here you have these kids that have worked so hard.
that waited for this season.
Yeah, and there you have this senior-laden team, and it's your opportunity, and like you said, you kind of don't get to, compete for that championship, but again, like you said, we're happy they're playing.
Absolutely.
But your competitive spirit gets in there as well.
Have to get them in there. But they seem to have I just think, Chatham might have done something. There's other undefeated still in Mountain Lakes, and Jefferson and Hanover Park is undefeated, although they have a tie, like Mountain Lakes. But, same thing. I'll miss the county tournaments because they were just, well attended and so much spirit. And
oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was great. But I don't know. I just think it's just going to be a strange. As they say, that phrase "new normal" will become used to this stuff, which I don't want to become used to it.
I know.
I'm with you on that.
I'm a person resistant to change. I don't like it. Do everything the way it's been done, and that's it. And I'm
Amen.
And then in field hockey, do we have our usual suspects? I have my sleeper in Morris County, but I'll let you tell us a little bit more. Not really a sleeper, but kind of.
Really? There's a sleepy team out there?
No, not a sleeper. Not a sleeper. Someone who's back on the radar, I would say.
Okay, good. Oh, I know who it is.
Yeah.
Maybe Pequannock.
Yep. Yeah.
They're good. They're terrific.
Yeah.
Right, but they will not. And remember the rivalries with Madison?
Yeah,
and
they play this
Pequannock?
week. Yeah,
I know.
Tomorrow I think it is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, in field hockey, I like the usual. I'm so glad for Morristown Beard to, have become a power. They've always worked hard.
Mm-hmm.
And Kate Alderman's doing a great job with them.
Nice.
And West Morris is still going to be West Morris. You can't count them out, right? So I like them. So Mountain Lakes, they look like they have some talent too. But who knows? I mean, in Madison, I don't know. After the coaching change last year, and nothing against, Tori. She's a great young coach, but who knows what direction they'll go in.
Right. That's tough shoes to fill there in the history of that program. Yeah.
Sandy, I have a quick question for you. And again,
Sure.
you do a great job covering everything. Do you have a favorite? I mean, I know you love all the sports Jen's mentioning, but do you have a favorite to cover? Is there one sport where you say that's the one I love covering the most?
People have asked me that, and I finally figured it out, and people would be surprised because I was very much into softball.
That would have been my guess, no?
And I still am. I love softball. But for basketball, you can't beat it. No, you can't beat the gym being packed and standing room only. And also, I think I lean more toward basketball, but of course, I love a good game in any sport. I even like bad games. I'm like, that's just how I am. People say, like, how can you sit through that? But I always believed in covering everybody, too. Why not? And I was just like, but I do believe I like basketball the best.
All right, and my last question is, if you told me I have to go see one team that you're covering now, what's the team where you listen, go spend 2-3 hours and go see this team? What team is that?
I don't know. I think I might go. Well, I'm going to check them out soon. I think I might go see Chatham Soccer. I think that sounds like a good one. Or if I had a second choice, maybe, I like the Morristown Beard Madison matchups now. And of course, too, as Jen just said, Pequannock. That's a good one. They're back after a little bit of a lull there. In field hockey, I forgot to say the sport field hockey. They're looking good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very
nice.
tough.
You mentioned something, and this is something that always, was you made an impression on me with, is I do feel that you gave coverage to try to cover everyone, which is, it's just nice for the kids to, to get that recognition no matter what team they're on. And I feel like, we talked a little bit about this, but that's one of the reasons we're kind of doing what we're doing as well, because as two former high school athletes, two former high school coaches, we just want to see those kids and those programs kind of get the notoriety. So, I know we share that mindset. So again, thank you for that. Before we let you go, Sandy, we have 2 quick questions. We call it rapid fire, right? It's just a fun little segment. We have the Wayne Hills coach ready to come on in, so at 8:30, but we want to get going with these rapid fire questions that are meant to be a little fun.
Okay.
You're up first.
All right, my question is, who are the top 3 athletes you've ever covered?
Oh boy! All right,
That's a tough one.
This is a long time. This is 40 plus years worth of covering. I don't know. I covered basketball. I covered Carol Blazejowski.
Oh, get out of here! Very cool. The Blaze.
I have to say too that Kelly Sabinski, another basketball player, was phenomenal.
3-point shooter from was she St. Peter's?
And Kelly Sabinski was from Mendham.
Oh, that one. Yeah, I was thinking
went
of
to Stanford.
I was thinking of
Stanford.
the kid that from when I was in high school. Sorry, yeah.
And
so she was phenomenal.
Tony Fortunato, the Whippany Park pitcher, whose record was 80 wins, 1 loss.
Those are some impressive athletes, yeah.
And guess what? I was off on the day they lost.
So you never seen her lose. That's it.
So in your mind, she's
undefeated.
I got called into work. 80-1.
Wow. Unreal.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, my question for you is your biggest or most memorable high school sports event that you've covered.
Okay, and I have to think quickly again here. Well, Aaliyah Hulendale of Randolph scored, I believe, 52 points in a county semifinal a few years ago.
Very cool. Yeah.
Randolph basketball. And I'm not just going to basketball. That just stands out because 52 points.
Yeah. You don't hear that a lot.
A big game like that, yeah.
It was, I believe it was 50 or 52. It was a lot of points. It was crazy.
I actually can't believe that I got the Kelly Saminsky confused because I was coaching at West Essex when she was playing on Mendham, and she was the top of their 1-3-1 zone. I mean, besides being a scorer, she was a phenomenal just defender, all-around player. So I have nightmares of her. We couldn't get it past when they do that three-quarter court trap, and we couldn't get it. I worked with the guards all week long, and we couldn't get it past our own foul line.
She was a nightmare too. But she was a nightmare too, if you recall, because she was so. Like we called her, I joke with people who take pictures for me and stuff. She was like this silent assassin.
Yeah.
You'd get to the end of the game and you'd think, well, what did she have? And you thought maybe she had 10. But she ended up having 22, 8 assists.
She was very it was
easy. So easy.
She let the game come to her. She was so smooth. But all his Coach Corona's teams were, he did such a nice job with that program. They were phenomenal on the losing end for many years at West Essex against them in the old days of the Iron Hills Conference. But well, Sandy, thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate having you. Hopefully we can catch up later in the season.
Of course.
And, I love it. Let's do it again.
Absolutely.
And talk about it.
We're in. Absolutely. Thank you.
Well, thanks so much for coming.
All right.
We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
So again, Sandy's website, soar-nj.com, if you want to keep up on some good girls high school sports.
Absolutely.
Should we bring in Coach Demikoff?
Sure.
All right, our next guest is ready. We're going to admit him now. We have Coach Demikoff from Wayne Hills. Hi, Coach. Oh, it looks like his audio is connecting. Good evening, Coach.
How you doing?
Good. Thanks for joining us tonight.
No, thanks for having me on.
Thank you, Coach.
I'm just going to introduce you to our audience, if you don't mind. This is Coach, and Coach, please let me know if I'm mispronouncing your last name. Coach Wayne Demikoff.
That's good.
All right.
She did good.
The current varsity football coach at Wayne Hills High School. He's been at the helm since 2013, accruing a 58-23 win-loss record. Been to the state playoffs 3 times, winning a sectional championship twice, if I'm not mistaken, Coach. Is that correct?
Yep.
All right, and as part of a program, established program at Wayne Hills that's been to the playoffs 30 times, the finals 19 times, and has captured 10 sectional titles. So, Coach, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, again, Coach, thank you so much. And I'll just start with this. Impressive 3-0 start. And I got to say, I mean, the schedule you guys have this year, it's like we always joke on our sports show about SEC schedules in college football. I mean, you guys are rolling out Ridgewood, 2019 state champs. Wayne Valley, 2019 state champs. Old Tappan, state finalists. Now you got Northern Highlands, sectional champs. So it's like boom, 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 boom. And you still got Hackensack and, of course, Ramapo down the road. But 3 tough games. You guys are 3-0. What made you guys 3-0, would you say?
I think the work ethic of our kids, I think the discipline of our kids, they're not distracted. This is important to them, right? In a world that we live in right now where there's a million things to be concerned about and a million things, that you can make an excuse about this or about that. They focus on what they have to do every day and every week. And I think that's why, they've come together. We got good character on this team, good leadership. And I think it's important to them. So, that anytime you have that, you have a shot at having a good team.
Now, Coach, are you guys in school or just you guys doing the virtual thing? What are you guys doing at the high school?
Hybrid,
Hybrid?
Some in, some out. Yeah. So, some kids in school, some kids doing all virtual. Yeah.
Okay.
And Coach, as I mentioned in your introduction, you boast a bunch of playoff appearances, sectional titles, and it's definitely a strong football tradition at Wayne Hills. Can you tell us how you've cultivated a culture of success season after season?
Well, I mean, that's the expectation at Wayne Hills. I took over for Chris Olson, who was there for a long time, and really he built the program. He established the traditions that we have, the expectations that we have, and I worked for Chris for a lot of years, so it's a tough thing to take over for a guy like him, but in a lot of regards it was good because the plan was in place and we've just tried to follow it and keep building on that year after year. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do, but anytime you have a group of people that come together that have the same values, same beliefs, and work hard, you have a shot at something special.
Nice.
Okay, now, I was going to ask you in a rapid fire, but again, I witnessed by scouting one of the games years ago when I was an assistant at Ramapo, but the Wayne Hills, Wayne Valley games. Can you just explain? We'll get into the Wayne Hills, Ramapo ones too, but that in-town rivalry, I think I went when you guys, I want to say it was the sectional semifinal, and it was like everyone in Wayne was there. It was just crazy. So,
Yeah.
Can you just explain that a little bit?
Well, anytime you have 2 teams in the same town, you're going to get most of the town to come out to it. We've been fortunate over the years, whether it is them or Ramapo or Old Tappan. We've found some games that, year after year are big games, and I think that's the mark of it. You can talk about them, you talk about Ramapo, Old Tappan. There's a bunch of teams over the years you can talk about. So, man, that's a rivalry game. I think that's a mark of a good program when you have all those big games year after year. Yep. And, it's a lot of fun. The Ramapo ones over the years are some legendary games. It's a fun thing. It's something that, you get up for, you week after week, year after year. Those are fun games to have. This year's a little different because you don't have the crowds that you normally do. But, when you get thousands of people at a high school football game, it is a lot of fun.
Yep. And, My other question before I get to my last one, the playoffs. What's your thought? I mean, I know you guys, it's not like a true playoff, but what's your thoughts on that? Like it, dislike it, or like you say, just happy the kids are getting to play this year?
Well, I think it starts there. I mean, for a long time, you didn't know if we were going to have games. You didn't know, even now you don't know. You see so many schools shutting down, and, week after week, you don't know, day after day, every day, you wonder. So the fact that we're playing games, I think, is a great thing. And the more games you get, the better. I mean, we love to have a sectional final, bowl game, all that stuff. I mean, absolutely. I mean, that's the stuff that the kids look forward to. But, we said to our team at the beginning of the year, whatever they're giving out, whether it's a high five or a T-shirt, we want to win it. So that's how we prepare. And if it's not a trophy at MetLife Stadium, then wherever it is and whatever it's going to be, we want to be the ones that are a part of it for sure.
Coach, you had mentioned that, week to week, day to day, that you're, not really sure. Things can change so quickly. So have you guys had to deal with any kind of interruptions or not yet? Anything?
Knock on wood.
I don't want to jinx you. Yeah.
I don't want to jinx it either. Knock on wood. So far, so good. But, I mean, it's everywhere. I mean, it seems like every day there's a new situation, a new, and they're close to home. So, you just hope every day that everything's fine. And we tell our kids, hey, this could be the last day of practice. This game could be the last game. I mean, it's that uncertainty that, for the kids, I think that's a hard thing. But, like I said, our kids, the character of our kids has been great. They've embraced it and they've gone out there every day like this could be the last day. And they play with a sense of urgency. And that's what you look for.
Nice.
Okay. And again, like we said, 3-0. The tough schedule, and now it's like, all right, week 4, now you got Northern Highlands, like another sectional champ. So Wayne Valley defeated them last week, so 2-1. Coach Russo there again, great last year, won the sectional championship. I believe it was his first year last year. Just a quick preview on this weekend's game.
Well, I mean, listen, he does a great job with them. I mean, that's a talented team. They're tough. They got a lot of real dangerous skill players. The quarterback is excellent. They're tough kids and they know how to win. I mean, anytime you have that combination, I mean, it's, makes for a tough opponent. And they certainly are that. I mean, just from the types of things that they do and the people that they do it with, presents a lot of challenges. So, we know it's going to be a tough game Friday. That's for sure.
Well,
Okay.
good luck in that game, Coach. Yep.
Thanks.
All right, let's do a little.
We have a little segment we call Rapid Fire. We have a couple questions we're going to fire at you, and they're a little more fun, meant to be more fun than the, questions and answers about the sport. But
I don't know if question 1's going to be fun. I mean, we're putting you right on the spot, Coach.
Some of
Here we
them
go.
are fun.
All right, you're going to be on record on this one. Bigger rival, Ramapo or Wayne Valley?
I mean, I think the history of us and Ramapo has, that's all. When you talk to guys, alumni, that's all they talk about is Ramapo. That's certainly, for so many years, so many big games. Just the amount of time that we've played Ramapo, I'd say it's that. We haven't played Wayne Valley all that much, really, when you look at in the comparisons to Ramapo. So more people, I think, are that went to school by us, and that's the one every year for the bigger part of the Wayne Hills community, that's for sure.
Okay.
So my question has to do kind of with that Wayne Valley rivalry a little bit, since you guys have played them, I'd say, a little more recently and in kind of a higher stakes game. Let's say you are playing Wayne Valley and you could either have them in whether it's your home field or Wayne Valley's home field, where you can pack in those 1,000 people and have a really crowded feeling, or the excitement of a sectional final in MetLife Stadium. Which one would you prefer?
I mean, it's always fun when you're playing in town because, you get, when there's a lot of people there, no matter where you play, whether it's here or over at MetLife, but it feels like so much more when you play at a high school stadium than at the, MetLife, where you could have 20,000 people there and you feel like there's a lot of empty seats because of the size of the place. So, I mean, I think it's always fun to play, obviously home or in town. I think that's it really is a good environment, and people come out and it's a great deal. But look, obviously playing at MetLife. I mean, if you're playing there, it means you've done pretty well. So
don't want to shy away from that. Yeah.
that's it. Yeah.
By the way, we're getting a hello from our guy Kenny, who does a sports show with us. He's from Southern Maryland, so he's saying welcome, Coach, and best luck this year.
Thank you.
And my next question is going to be another very important one because she doesn't even know this yet. But your answer is going to have where we're going to go eat dinner on Friday night. Best pizza place in Wayne.
Oh man, that's listen, anywhere you go, you're not putting that on me because I get a lot of people angry at me. But listen, any place you go, I mean, there's great pizza. I was just at a place too, by the way. I'm not going to tell you which one, but
You can tell
they're
us
all
privately.
good.
Yeah, send it privately. We're going to give us your list and we're going to go.
We need some options.
No, there's plenty. Trust me.
All right. I don't know how you're going to respond to this one either. My last rapid fire question for you is Under Armour, Adidas, or Nike? What's your preference?
Well, we're an Adidas school right now. That's what our uniforms are. They've done a great job for us, and we've been real happy with them. From our uniforms to our practice stuff to all the gear we get, it's been great.
Nice, very nice, excellent. Okay. Well, Coach, we want to thank you for coming on, and hopefully.
And by the way, at 8:50, Coach, we do our little weekly pick segment. So you got to see which way we're going to go in the Highlands Wayne Hills game. I know you're going to be happy with my part. I don't know what she's going to do, but I'll give you a spoiler.
Listen,
I'll give you a spoiler. I'm going Hills, so I'm going. That's my spoiler for the week.
And not too many people. We haven't been picked in too many games this year.
I'm picking you. That's it.
Well,
that's been a motivating thing for our kids too. So.
Well, I had you last week, and you did not. So.
No, 2 weeks ago. That was 2 weeks ago. I did, but now I learned my lesson, Coach. I learned my lesson. Don't go against Hills.
That's it.
But we'd love to, follow up with you hopefully throughout the season. Maybe even bring you on with some of your players if that's something you're interested in. But
absolutely, anytime. It'd be great. This has been a lot of fun. So awesome. Thanks for having
me.
Thank you,
much. Coach,
and good luck.
Good luck.
Thank
this
you.
Weekend.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Coach.
Take care.
All right. So that was thank you, Coach, for coming on
to very nice.
Talking a little. It's a great question. We get into the rivalries and. Even to ask that question, because again, I experienced the Ramapo Wayne Hills rivalry, and it's. I'm telling you, when people tell you, it's 100 times bigger than what it is. But when you could even still turn around and go and say, now, Wayne Valley is still in there. It's like, oh my God, like you're saying, it's not even like your cross rival. It's your in town rival.
Right,
it's the same town. Can you imagine that? That's bragging rights, and kids that grew up, whether they played against each other or played as teammates. Now, not like you're saying, you even mentioned it, that's a state sectional semifinal. I mean, everything's on the line. Right. And it's that's who you're playing. Kids you grew up with, kids you're probably hanging out with on Monday. You're playing for a chance to go to a state final on a Friday night. So, again, great interview. Yep. Great program, like he's saying, not an easy thing to, we were kind of mentioning it where we were saying last week of, when I asked you the question, would you want to take over the established program and get ready to go, or would you want to build something? Yeah. I mean, he walked right into, a quote-unquote legend. I'm trying to say over there, where state title.
The expectations
the expectations are, that you can't have that down season. So, again, he does a great job, great rivalries, and, hey, we'll see where it goes. But hey, again, definitely love to get something with Wayne Hills and the kids, the players, and stuff like that.
Hopefully we'll get them back as the season goes on.
By the way, Kenny's firing. We didn't even do picture, and Kenny's firing saying, let's rank these 5 teams. All right? He's giving me Rutherford, Lyndhurst, Glen Rock, Hawthorne, Waldwick. If he's asking me for this year, it's going to change program besides
as if
full
overall,
program. Okay, this year I'm going to go Waldwick, Hawthorne. I'll go Glen Rock, Rutherford, Lyndhurst for this year.
Okay.
But that's totally different if you're going to ask me programs.
We'll do programs.
Okay?
Go ahead.
Program-wise, am I just doing football? Is he asking me football? He's asking me football.
Yeah.
All right, so if I'm going to go football, I'm probably going to go Glen Rock, Rutherford, Lyndhurst, Hawthorne, Waldwick. It's kind of flops from this year.
Yeah,
You know, like
interesting.
the
Deviates a
teams
little
with
bit,
the better history
Great
programs are a
Might
little
be a
more on the
little
downside.
downside.
And like Waldwick, I want to say Waldwick. I read today they have never had back-to-back league titles, and they're playing Rutherford pretty much what's going to be now they beat Garfield, so it's between them and Rutherford have a 3-way tie. I want to say they could be the first team to go back to win that league.
Oh, nice.
So I'm 100%, but I'm pretty solidified on that.
Should we get into a little field hockey?
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah,
Let's do your your field hockey notes.
So I know I feel like I've been promoting the, 2 top teams in the state, Oak Knoll number 1 and West Essex number 3, 2 highly touted teams, nationally ranked, 2 of the top ones in the state. Supposed to play tomorrow, and now with the COVID situation, unfortunately that game's going to have to be postponed. However, I would say that Oak Knoll played Johnson in the Union County Finals, and West Essex played Montclair in the Essex County Finals last year. So we have a Montclair-Johnson matchup in that Essex-Union Conference tomorrow as well. Tomorrow's a big day. A lot of good field hockey games tomorrow.
Now let me ask you this. I know I've asked you off the air, obviously, but with field hockey, weather situation, do they usually play?
Well, if you're on turf, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. As long
That
as
game, there's no way that game's getting canceled if you're on turf.
I mean, unless it's torrentially raining and you have puddles on the turf, I would say. As long as it's safe, yeah, turf, just like any other sport would be on. I mean, if you're on AstroTurf,
And obviously that's got to be advantage, disadvantage. I mean, does it help out the lesser team, or
think I would argue that in almost any sport, a bad weather condition plays to
Evens
the
it out a little
advantage
more.
of the lesser skilled team, right? So getting back to the matchups tomorrow in Morris County, when we were talking with Sandy earlier, she talked about Pequannock and Madison, and they play each other tomorrow. Madison's ranked 16th in the state. Pequannock is the defending sectional champion, and they're both undefeated right now, so that'll be a good matchup in Morris County. Mendham and West Morris Central actually playing tonight, probably as we speak. That game might have ended not too long ago, so that's another good Morris County matchup for this week. Another good Passaic County matchup that is also happening tomorrow. Again, big day in field hockey tomorrow. We have Wayne Valley playing against Lakeland at home, and that is a rematch of the Passaic County Tournament Finals. And we have kind of Northern Highlands and Ramsey emerging as the top 2 teams in Bergen County. So they're both undefeated with 1 tie. They tied each other earlier in the season. They will rematch actually on Halloween. So just some field hockey notes from around Northern Jersey.
awesome.
Should we?
You notice I didn't have any field hockey notes this week.
Well, maybe you should get some field hockey notes.
I might.
I have football notes.
All right, so Mr. Kirkpatrick right now is saying he's fired up for this pick segment. I'm gonna be honest, this has been fun. We started with a little pick here and there, but you know what? We got logos now. We got people giving us scores. And by the way, last week you were 9-3. So you took the lead. Mr. Kirkpatrick was 8-4. Jenny, so it was Hoops, Kenny, myself, and Mr. Beelan with 6-6. So we differed on 3 games, and those were the 3 differentials. But you know what? Now I'm ready. Now I'm not doing. now I'm not going with the heart.
I hope Kenny is
I'm
listening.
not going
now
with the heart. I'm
ready.
going with the head this week. So
Wait. I do have to. I want to insert one thing that we kept track of the scores from the week before, and I was 7-5, and you were 5-7.
Okay.
So just Kenny, that's one's for you.
Kenny's saying, Jen, how does a Maryland guy beat the 2 New Jersey guys and is in second place? Kenny might have inside information going
too
on.
Funny, yeah. That's good. Maybe.
So.
All right, should we start them off here?
Absolutely.
Okay, our first game that we're going to predict is 2-1 Lodi at 2-1 Garfield.
Okay. So, again, I have Mr. Kirkpatrick's picks. So, Mr. Kirkpatrick is going to go, and his words are Angry Garfield Boilermakers. The Angry Boilermakers. And his pick is Garfield 26, Lodi 8. So Mr. Kirkpatrick is going with the home Garfield Boilermakers. I'm going to go to you, Hoops.
I'm going to go Garfield as well.
You're going to go Garfield.
Yep.
Any reason why?
You know what? I just think that game last week is going to, they're going to come out hungry. Kenny used the word angry. I'm going to use the word hungry.
Okay. I guess I'm up, right?
Yep.
All right. While we're waiting for Mr. Beelan to send in his picks. I'm going to go with him too. Again, heartbreaking loss at Waldwick. Pete, Coach Santa Croce, right decision going for 2. You know what? Lodi's been down. Lodi hasn't beaten Garfield in a long time now. It used to be when we were in high school, it was the other way around. Garfield seems to have Lodi's number. They're coming to Garfield after a loss. I'm going to go low-scoring game. I'm going to go Garfield 21, Lodi 6. So I will also take the Garfield Boilermakers to sweep the board. I do not know Mr. Beelan's pick, but I'm going to just put Beelan in because I think Beelan's going to go with his boy Pete and take the Garfield Boilermakers.
All right. Our next matchup is the 0-3 Lyndhurst at 0-3 Manchester. While you're setting the board there for our next pick, I'm going to start this one. I think that Lyndhurst gets their first win. I think those kids are working hard. I know they, have last year under their belts, and I think they get on track this week, and I'm going to pick Lyndhurst.
Yeah, I am too. Again, Coach Twirl and those guys, great coaching staff. Again, you lose a lot of guys. You come off that state section championship. You're saying target on the back, but boom, 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 3 good teams. So, you know what? They get Manchester. Little help for them. I think Coach Twirl gets the boys back on track, and I'm going to go Lyndhurst. I'm going to say they're going to score some points this week. I'm going to go 31-14. 31-14. I'm going to go Lyndhurst. Kenny also is going Lyndhurst. He's going 21-7. He's going 21-7 Lyndhurst over Manchester.
All right. Our next, nothing from Mr. Beelan, correct?
Nothing from Mr. Beelan. He's MIA. Yeah. He's running out.
Well, he's got, he's a busy man, so we can't expect him to tune into our sports show all the time. But we're thankful for when he does give us his viewership. 3-0 Waldwick at 2-1 Rutherford.
Okay. Coach Twirl saying, let's go.
Nice.
So he's picking,
nice.
I got the Golden Bears, baby. He said, I hope we score more than 27 this week. I got him. And again, another shout out to the Lyndhurst staff for
absolutely.
the job they did.
Yep.
All right, so we're going Waldwick and Rutherford, correct? Yep. Again, I think it's a sneaky little game, all right? Richie's saying Villa Italia better than Bruno. So there you go. The Villa Italia, very good place. We got to go there. All right, Waldwick, Rutherford. I'm going to actually, I'll start with Richie saying love you guys.
We
love
Coach.
you too,
Thanks,
Coach Twirl. We got to get him on again
absolutely,
soon. Get him on. I'm going to start with Kenny. Upset Kenny, because you know what? Kenny's always been an upset guy. And you know what? This is his upset of the week. Mr. Kirkpatrick, live from Maryland, is going with the home team, the Rutherford Bulldogs.
Well, so is Jenny Hoops. I'm picking them as well. So I guess I'm
Coach
upset.
Twirl's taking Rutherford over.
Nice,
I might have to change my pick. So you're going with Mr. Kirkpatrick.
Yep.
Did you guys talk before off air and I don't know about this?
All. Not this time.
Something's going on here.
I almost did text Kenny to tell him about, some of the pre-show antics.
You know what? I'm going to say this. Waldwick just had this battle with Garfield. So they may, I'm going to say they're a little, could Rutherford catch them? But I don't know. I think it's like Waldwick's little run. Like I said, I want to say they're going for their second straight, quote-unquote, league title, if you want to call it a league title this year. Coach Charles saying, I'm telling you Rutherford can win. I think they can too. But I am going to, you know what? What's his name? Grigsby, the running back? Something. I want to say it's Grigsby. I don't know. I got to go with him. I'm going to take Waldwick. But close. You ready? This is the year of inches for Waldwick. 21-20. Waldwick over Rutherford. That's my prediction.
All right, our next game is 3-0 Clifton at 1-2 Montclair. I'm going to start this one.
Okay.
I'm rolling with our Clifton Mustangs.
Again, another congratulations to Coach Sinkyu for
Yep.
being Coach of the Week with the New York Giants.
Yep.
By the way, Giants get a win. They're starting coaches of the week. I mean, the Giants, everybody, Giants are Bay. Giants are in, what are they? Half a game out of first place. They might be in first place this weekend. You know? Okay, so you're rolling with Clifton.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You have a score.
I don't.
I'm going to start mandating you have scores now. You know, you think you're big and bad, 9-3 on this racket.
Your 6-6 had nothing to do with scores.
No,
it's just
it didn't have
wins and
anything
losses.
to do with scores,
yeah.
but we want to do scores. I'm going to go Clifton too. You know, very good defense. Again, I know we had the guys on. I'm going to go. I'm going to say 24-6. I'm going to go 24-6 with Clifton. Mr. Kirkpatrick is going a little higher. He's going 33-15. So Mr. Kirkpatrick's going 33-15.
Okay.
All right.
And our next game is 3-0 Hawthorne at 2-1 Glenrock.
Okay, you can start this one up.
I'm going to go with 3-0 Hawthorne on this one.
Any particular reason?
I just think you know what? I sometimes feel, and this isn't always true, but when you start the season with that, you know, you get on that roll, that undefeated roll to start there, you know, you start to ride that confidence.
Okay.
So I feel like that has a big thing to do with coming into that game. So I'm gonna go with I'm not as seasoned. If you notice, we do a lot of Bergen County schools, right? Which is your area. I'm an Essex County person, so I'm not as ever since I've met you, becoming more familiar with the Bergen County football schools,
Okay.
but not as much. But I'm going to go with the undefeated start to the season.
So you're going going Hawthorne.
Yep.
Okay. Mr. Kirkpatrick is going. Mr. Kirkpatrick didn't even give me a score. What's going on?
All right, so do yours.
Yeah, he didn't. That's the problem in Maryland with him, you know? By the way, I'm getting a question. Let's Hut or Hot Grill? I'm going Hot Grill. I might be going Hot Grill now. We're hungry here. All right, I'm going opposite of you. Sorry, Hoops. You know what? I know Hawthorne's undefeated, but Glenrock, great program. Again, from the bottom up, I am going to take, in an upset, I'm going to take Glenrock 20, Hawthorne 7. I may be wrong on this one, but I don't know. I'm feeling upset.
Okay. Our next game is 1-2 Saddlebrook at 2-1 Pompton Lakes.
Okay, start it up.
I am going to go with the home team on this one. I'm going to pick Pompton Lakes.
Okay, you're going to go Pompton Lakes. I agree. They just came off, though, a heartbreaking loss. What was it, 7-6? I believe they just got beat, correct?
What did we say on that one?
Kenny, by the way, is saying 34-28 Glenrock over Hawthorne.
Yep, you're right. You're correct. It was a 7-6
7-6
loss.
heartbreaker.
Yeah, yep.
Saddlebrook's been playing close games this year also, but I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to go Pompton Lakes. I think they take it out a little bit with that from the loss from Hawthorne. So I am going to go Pompton Lakes. I think Saddlebrook keeps it closer. I'm going to go 21-7. 21-7, I'm going to go Pompton Lakes.
Okay. Our next matchup is 2-1 Elmwood Park at 2-1 Weehawken. We had Coach Mulligan on last week after his, landmark win. Mm-hmm. He followed it up with a second back-to-back victories, which is nice, but I'm going with Weehawken this week.
You're going with Weehawken, and Mr. Kirkpatrick's going with Weehawken. That's good. You know why?
Are you going with Elmwood
I'm
Park?
going with Coach
Nice.
Mulligan.
Nice.
What's
I like
better
when
than
we have different
what's
answers.
better than 1 in a row, 2 in a row? What's better than 2 in a row, 3 in a row? Coach Mulligan gets the win defensively. 14-13. Coach Mulligan takes 3 in a row for EP High School.
our next game that we have is Ramapo at Bergenfield. We don't know if that one's happening, correct?
No, that game is, from what I saw today on Twitter, that game is off.
Been postponed, right?
That game has been postponed.
All right, so we're going to skip that one. All right. Coach Demikoff, we've come to the Wayne Hills, 3-0 Wayne Hills at 2-1 Northern Highlands.
This might be game of the week.
Yeah.
Again, you
Yeah.
got Wayne Hills hot 3-0, Northern Highlands. Again, Coach Russo last year in his first year, state sectional champions.
Like you
kind
said,
of surprisingly.
no rest in the schedule for Wayne Hills.
No rest. Let's go with let's go with Kirkpatrick's first.
I'm guessing he has Highlands.
No, he doesn't have Highlands. He's got Wayne Hills.
Okay.
But he's got Wayne Hills big.
Yeah.
He's going 27-7
Oh, all right.
Wayne Hills over Highlands.
All right. I'm picking Wayne Hills as well. I think it's going to be a closer game. I don't know if it's going to be as high scoring, but
Right. Well, you know what? Northern Highlands does score a lot of points, but Hills will always put a defensive plan together to shut that down. I'm going to go keeping the Wayne Hills magic. And again, it's just not, listen, Northern Highlands, they're sectional champs. So what can you say?
Right.
He's turned that program around, but it's like a team like, you see like an NFL team. You don't want to go against that team. You don't want to go against Wayne Hills. I'm going to go Wayne Hills 17, Northern Highlands 14. I think they slow them down, and I think Wayne Hills goes to 4-0.
okay. Our next matchup is 3-0 Bergen Catholic at 2-1 DePaul. Again, that loaded conference with all those, phenomenal teams. I am picking Bergen Catholic.
Okay. Again, two great programs, brother versus brother. I mean, Campanelli is
Oh, yeah.
right, the head coach, OC from DePaul's the other Campanelli. He's going to be becoming the head coach next year. He's going to be taking over the program.
Nice.
Again, DePaul, I picked DePaul twice, I think now, and I think, or one.
Well, they have one loss.
They won, so I picked them last week. I
Yeah.
believe I picked them versus Del Bar, and they lost. But how can you go against Bergen Catholic right now? I mean, they're one of the best teams in the state. I'm going to go pretty high scoring. So you're going Bergen Catholic, correct?
As well. Yep.
You have a score or no score?
I have not prepared scores, so
Okay.
don't ask anymore.
Well, next week you're giving you homework. Mr. Kirkpatrick's going 28-8. Okay, he's going with you with Bergen Catholic, and I got to be on the same bandwagon. I just think too many points. I'm gonna go 31. I'm gonna go 31-20. 31-20. I will take Bergen Catholic.
All right. Our next matchup is this is I'm going to say the records, it's just so misleading, right? We have a 1-2 St. Joe's at a 1-2 Don Bosco.
Again, it's just because
Of course,
the
the
powers are
competition,
playing
of
the
course,
powers.
of each other. I think Bosco, after last week with the which I, oh no, was that last week? I'm thinking of the Del Barton game. Was that last week. Yes, was when Del Barton beat Bosco. Yeah, I'm thinking of that as an upset. No, Del Barton I'm sure doesn't consider it an upset, but I think Bosco, they're home. They're coming off that game. I think St. Joe's feels their wrath.
Good, because I'm definitely going against you on this. Again, great game, but Joe's is one of the best teams in the state. Again, they're just playing St. Peter's, playing Bergen. I think St. Joe's takes it out on Bosco a little bit this week. I'm going to go 31-17. I'm going to take St. Joe's. Kenny has St. Joe's 37, Don Bosco 26. So he has a high-scoring game. Oh, I'm sorry. I put your face again for Kenny. I cannot do that. So Kenny is going with St. Joe. So you're the only one right now that took
Bosco.
That Bosco. You got to
Nice.
wait on Beelan.
Yep.
I mean, Beelan will probably give us the results on Sunday, so he'll say he ran the table.
All right, our next game is 3-0 St. Peter's at 0-3 Paramus Catholic.
Okay. You want to start that off?
Oh, I will start that off with I'm going to pick St. Peter's on that one.
Okay. Again, PC 0-3, but are they really an 0-3 team
Right.
of talent? You know what I'm
Right.
trying to say? but St. Peter's number 1 in the state. You're going to go St. Peter's. Kenny is going 38-13. I actually like a score. I actually like something very, very similar to that. So I'm going to be with you. This is going to be, I think, a clean sweep across the board. We're all going to go St. Peter's. So no shock there. By the way, give me a second. I think Mr. Beelan is coming in with some of his picks.
Weighing in with something.
Look at this. He drew him up. So I'll read his before we get off. Okay, I'll read his before we get off.
Okay, our next matchup is 2-1 Verona at 3-0 Weequake.
Okay, first I'm going to give you a little heads up on this. When I sent Kenny the picks, he couldn't read my handwriting.
What did he think?
So then, no. Then I said it's Weequake. He says, "Where the hell is Weequake?" So he never heard of Weequake.
Okay.
But
it's one of the many Nork teams.
Yeah, but again, athletic, a little smaller program, but always good.
See, that could be a little. I could understand why you might not have, because it's, again, you have all those Nork schools. So,
but you know what? Kenny's gonna go with. He's going 14-12. He's picking Verona.
I'm picking Weequake.
Okay, you're going Weequake.
And who are you?
I am gonna go with my pal, Mr. Kirkpatrick. I'm going to take Verona. Again, slow it down. I'm going to go 13-7 Verona. That's my pick, and Hoops is you're going Weequake.
Yep.
So we got 2-1, and again, we will read Mr. Beelan's picks in 1 second.
Okay, and our next matchup is, now, I'm not sure if this game is happening either, this next one, but we'll pick it.
But if it does, a very good matchup.
Yeah,
very
absolutely.
Good matchup.
And if I'm not mistaken, this might be a rematch of a state tournament game last year, right?
Yes.
So it's 3-0 Par Hills at 1-0 West Essex.
And I think Par Hills actually played Coach Twero and Linders. I think that was the sectional final last year. I'm not mistaken.
I think you're right.
Hills.
Yeah. Now that I'm recalling that
So
conversation
if he's still watching, I'd love to get his input.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what? If Coach Twirl's watching and he answers before I pick, I'm gonna go with his pick.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna say this. My alma mater is West Essex. I graduated with their coach, Coach Benaquista. He does a phenomenal job with that program. He's a great role model for those boys. I'm going against them only because I feel like this little hiatus, if they do play, I feel that the 2-week hiatus they've had is going to impact them. That's my only reason for going against them.
Okay.
Because with my heart, of course, I want to pick my alma mater. They're a good program. Like I said, he's done a phenomenal job. But that 2-week hiatus, I just, and again, I'm not sure if it's being played because they're not sure of what that comeback. The comeback date is either like that Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So they're kind of toying with that right now. Okay. So it's a little unknown.
So Kirkpatrick and Mulvaney Valenti is Par Hills. Not this guy.
All right.
No way. You know what? When he came on with us, Coach, he wasn't playing games. He was serious. I think the West Essex, again, that program is just like the Wayne Hills, where he said these kids are taking this serious. Mm-hmm. I think they'll be prepared. I'm going West Essex 27, Par Hills 21.
I thought you were going to say 24. That would be my prediction for your prediction.
I'm going to go 27-21.
All right, and our last matchup for this week, for week 4.
Kenny's saying when I picked the Vikings on our Wednesday show, I actually meant the Par Hills Vikings. By the way, I want to know how do the logos look today? How do the logos look? And what do we got? We have one more game, right? We can't forget one more team.
I'm just about to say that our last game is 1-1 Sparta at 3-0 Passaic Valley. And I just, I got to go PV again.
Okay, so you're going to go PV.
Yep.
Mr. Kirkpatrick's going to go, of course, PV.
Mm-hmm.
And this leads me to my team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and because I'm saying it's my team. I have 2 green.
You can't take them. It's our team. We had them on. You can't take them.
But I have two green and white teams. Always dear to my heart, Ramapo, the green and white. But I'm adopting the little green and white of this PV team.
I know.
And you know what? Kenny's saying great job with the logos. Listen, What notes do I need? What do I always say?
They're going to run the table.
They're going to run this table, okay? This team, I tell you, from day one. Now, Sparta's no joke.
Of
Okay?
course.
And again, their schedule,
Yeah.
just like Hills, tough game after tough game after tough game. But you know what? Those kids worked for it. Those kids, like we said, they had them on. They're basically the ones circling their opponents all year. I'm going PV defensively shuts them down. 14-7 PV over Sparta. And they continue to run the table. Go to 4-0. You know what? I'm still waiting for Dina, though.
What's that?
What's that?
Yeah, I don't remember.
I want my sweatshirt. I should be in a PV sweatshirt right now.
We didn't ask her that.
Well, we'll ask her now. Let's go. Who gives more press to PV?
Don't put her on the spot like that.
Who gives more press to PV than us?
I'm going to say my favorite thing about these picks this week is that we have 6 different
Good. That's
choices.
good. Let me just read Beelan's
Yep.
real quick, okay? For the record, you can write this down while we're still on
Okay.
there.
I'll get all his right
All
now.
right. He's going Garfield 27-7. Lyndhurst 20-14 over Manchester. He's taken Rutherford 30 to. By the way, he's got good handwriting, Beelan. I'm shocked. I don't know. His wife probably wrote it, but it is nice handwriting. Rutherford 30-21 over Waldwick. Clifton 21, Montclair 7. Hawthorne 14, Glenrock 7. Pompton 27-7 over Saddlebrook. He's got Powell Park 28.
Powell Park.
I'm sorry,
Elmwood Park or Weehawken.
I think he has, again, he's another, him and Kenny, they work together. It should be Weehawken 28
Okay.
over Elmwood Park 6. The Ramapo game's canceled. He's going Big Wayne Hills 26-6 over Highlands. Bergen Catholic 28-17. St. Peter's 34-7 over.
Did he get the
He didn't get the P.
St. Joe's game?
He did. I'm sorry. He did. He wrote. He's going 28-13 Weequake over Verona.
You missed. Okay, go ahead.
Parsippany Hills 33-14 over West Essex. Bergen Catholic 28-17 over DePaul.
Okay.
St. Peter's 34, Paramus Catholic 7. I did not give him the PV game. That was my mistake. So he has to give me that score. We'll add it.
Okay.
But he also wrote on this paper 13-0. So he thinks he's running the table with 13-0.
I like the confidence.
I'm going to say he's not going 13-0. But, again, great show. Hoops. Fun. You know, Sandy was great.
Yep.
Coach Demikoff from Wayne
thanks
Hills,
for coming
great.
again.
Um,
Best of luck to all the teams this week. Looking forward to catching up with them next week.
and that result board's going to change. That's all I'm going to say. That result game's going to change. Thank you for the comments. Oh, PV 17-10 from Beelan.
All right, there we go.
There we go. So it's official.
Got it. It's in the books.
Let me just ask you this: if it was a football game, and I asked you this last week, you had to pick one game. What one game would you want to go see?
Of these matchups
Yes.
here. Honestly, I'm gonna go Wayne Hills Northern Highlands.
Yeah, I think that's. That's the game of the week. Again, I mean, how do you go wrong not going to a Joe's Bosco game?
Of course,
You know,
yeah.
St. Peter's, Paramus
all
Catholic. I mean, they're
those,
all
yeah,
these games.
yeah.
I mean, Par Hill, they're all, again, Coach Twirl saying, Waldwick, Rutherford playing for that
absolutely.
league title.
Yep, yep.
So,
Garfield Lodi.
Garfield Lodi,
absolutely.
But I'm going to go with you. I'm going to go with Hills and Highlands. So, but again, we'll look at our results next week. We'll get some more people to come on. It's been a pleasure. Again, thank you to Sandy.
Yep,
Thank you to Coach
Demikoff.
Demikoff.
Yep.
And,
Thank you for watching this evening.
Absolutely.
And we will see you next week.
See you next Tuesday.